This this is Algebra 2, Lesson 1-3. I do enjoy wearing this hat. All right, so we're modeling composite functions, which is a fancy way of saying we are doing word problems. All right, so there are keywords. Oh, before I do that, combining. What does combining mean? I have the definition for us already. Basic operations. Add, subtract, multiply, divide. Those are how you combine functions. All right, there are also specific words that go with those when you're working on Khan Academy or in general. Add, when I'm looking for a total, write this down. When I'm looking for a total, that means I'm summing the functions. So if I have a bunch of grapes and a bunch of apples, and it's like, what is the total amount of fruit? You're going to be adding the functions. Subtracting, keywords, again, is actually total. So sometimes, total. Sometimes they say if I have a total number of fruit of 49 and I had 30 grapes, how many apples do I have, something like that, then that's still a subtraction problem, but you have to kind of work backwards. So be careful if you see total. It can mean add or subtract. If you see, and this is a Khan Academy specific word, but if you see the word evaporate, you're going to be doing some subtraction problem. Multiplication. Usually multiplication, you just kind of have to eyeball it. One thing that definitely means you're multiplying is if you're finding area, because you're going to be doing length times width. That is multiplying. Division. There are 3 keywords for division. The first one is if you see this word each, like what is the cost of each of the items, or what is the amount that each child has to pay, you're going to be doing some division. Another word that will indicate that you're dividing functions is if you're looking for the word average, or single. How much does a single ticket cost if I sold 300 tickets at a total price of $1,000? You're going to have to do division to get back to the single price. But generally, average is the key one. So I guess if I had to star one of them, average, because each and single mean that I'm really finding the average. They're just keywords that indicate you are finding an average. All right, so there are 2 formulas that you need to know. First one is profit. Stealing Mr. Godoy's equation here. In econ, there are a bunch of easy formulas. One of them is this. Profit is equal to, and maybe he'll correct me, but as far as I know, profit is equal to revenue minus expenses. I can pronounce this word, expenses.
When we do math and econ, we always talk about YouTube. So now, you talked about Mr. Godoy with the econ. He's like, if I did this math wrong, write down system, I would be so disappointed.
I would probably be disappointed. He's telling the truth. Yeah, so profit equals revenue minus expenses. I made $1 million, but I also have to pay for electricity, water, rent, and it turns out I only made $200. So make sure you know revenue minus expenses equals profit. Other thing is kind of the same thing. I ran out of room. If you have room on the right-hand side, that would work. I'm going to try to squeeze it in here. Income. Okay, I cannot spell. Miss Taylor's going to be mad at me that I can't spell. Income. That's equal to price times quantity. So if I have 5 apples and each apple costs $2, my total income from selling those apples is $10. Pretty straightforward, but I just want to make sure you guys are aware that sometimes there are assumed things that you know for these problems. So we have 4 examples, giant word problems. That's the beauty of guided notes. I have written them all down for you. You don't have to take the time to just write this all down. So I need a beautiful voice, example 1, or not beautiful. It's okay. We don't judge. But I guess we are by saying it's not beautiful. I don't know. I need a voice to read for 50 XP. Example 1. Andrea, go for it.
The distance and time that Amelia runs each day depends on the number of hours each that she works. The distance d in miles and time t in minutes that she runs are given by the functions d of h equals negative 0.5h plus 9.5 and t of h equals negative 5.5h plus 92.5 respectively. Let R be the average speed that Amelia runs on a day in which she works h hours. Write a formula for R of h in terms of d of h and t of h.
Perfect, yeah. So that's our first thing. We're going to write a formula. So our formula is going to look like this. And we're going to write this out with Mr. Siddell. Capital R of lowercase h. R of h is going to equal something over here. And don't write this down. I'm going to somehow use d of h and t of h. Those are the only things I'm going to be using on the right-hand side of this equal sign. And in between them, because I'm combining functions, I'm either going to have an add, subtract, multiply, or divide. I have to figure out which one of those goes in between those functions, and then the order of them depending on if it's a division or a subtraction problem. So, what operation are we using? You have a 1 in 4 chance of getting it right if you just guess add, subtract, multiply, or divide. But use the context in the problem to figure out what you're going to be doing. I see 2 people already have an answer. I'm going to wait. I want to see at least 4 people have an answer. Oh, wow, we already have 4 people have an answer. Eva, go for it.
Divide.
Divide. And what am I going to divide? Is it going to be d divided by t or t divided by d? Because I have d in miles and t in minutes.
D divided by T.
There it is, yeah. d of h divided by t of h. Eva, 50xp. It's that easy, okay? And now for the second part of the problem, write a formula for r of h in terms of h. So when it says in terms of h, as opposed to the previous problem, now I'm going to substitute what d of h was. I'm coming back up here into the problem. It says d of h was equal to all of this. So all of that is going to be substituted. So again, set up your r of h. R of h is equal to, the numerator was d of h. The numerator is negative 0.5 h plus 9.5. The denominator was t of h, which is negative 5.5 h, negative 5.5 h plus 92.5. Done. That's how you write a formula just in terms of h. You start with your first part, and Khan Academy usually asks both of these for tonight's homework. Yes, Fiona?
I don't understand how you know which one is on top of
Let's see if someone else can help us out. Wait, do you understand? Okay, maybe let me clarify this question. Are you asking about the second part or the first part? Okay, so that's more of a deeper question. So this deeper question, in order to find average speed, you need how far you're going divided by how long it took. So usually when we talk about a car goes miles per hour. The top unit is distance, the bottom unit is time. Same thing here, you're going to do distance per time. So that's why D went on the top and time went on the bottom. Good, yeah, good question.
So it's just like something you know.
Just, yeah, general knowledge.
Oh.
You know that it's to find speed, and I guess that might have been a formula that we should have added, that average speed is equal to average or total distance over total time. If you want to write that down because you don't think you're going to remember, you can say on the side, average speed is equal to tot distance, which stands for total distance over total time. That's what we just did. We found the average. Cool. That was example 1. I need another reader, for example, to a new reader. James, go for it.
For example,
Yes, please.
Scarlett sells designer ponchos. The revenue she makes from selling a batch of N ponchos is given by the functions R parentheses N equals 20N, and the expense E that she incurs from producing a batch of N ponchos is given by the function En equals 10 times square root of N. Let P be the total profit Scarlett makes from production and sell a batch of N ponchos. Write a formula for Pn in terms of Rn and En.
Yeah, so yeah, thank you. Yeah, so we got a poncho shop going on, selling those ponchos, keeping dry in the rain. All right, we know that we're going to be using Rn and En, so let's set up our equation. P of n is equal to something. Spend the next 20 seconds figuring out what operation symbol goes in between them and what order they go if there is an order. Like if there's a plus sign, it doesn't matter the order, for example. But if it's a minus or a dividing sign, then you need to make sure that the order is correct. All right, try to figure out what operation you're going to be using in the next 10 seconds. Don't yell it out. Don't raise your hand. Just figure it out on your own. All right, now talk with your group. What'd you get? There should be loud talking, not whispering. Go ahead and talk loud. Let Mr. Sandell eavesdrop. All right, quiet raised hand. What is the formula? What should I write down here? I've already called on Eva and Andrea today. I want someone new if possible. If not, I can call on them again. What do I write down? I would like to hear from Gio or Steph or Stego if possible. You guys haven't really spoken. You haven't got your XP today. Gio, yeah, what'd you put?
Pn equals to Rn minus En.
Rn minus En. What do we think? Thumbs up, thumbs down. If everyone votes, everyone gets 10 XP. Put thumbs in the middle if you don't know. All right, so everyone did vote. So everyone does get the class. Apply to all XP, the 10 procedure. So yeah, this is just our formula up here, right? Revenue minus expenses. Rn stands for revenue. En stands for expenses. So revenue minus expenses. Perfect. Well said, Gio. Yeah.
How do I know it's minus and not like just by the way I did it?
Yeah. So it's a vocab word. It's an English question. Expenses. Expenses means a negative amount of money. It costs this much money, so they take that much money away. But revenue, she makes revenue. That's a positive amount of money. You just need to know that revenue is a positive amount, expenses is a negative amount. It just comes from your understanding of English. There's not too much I can do aside from show you some examples and hopefully let you figure it out by repeating over and over again until you get it correct. So again, if you need to write that on the side, you can say that revenue is positive, and you can say expenses, that's negative, if you want to add that on the side. Okay, now we're essentially substituting just like we did in example 1 for Rn and En. Go ahead and do that now in the next 10-ish seconds. And once you're done, check with your partners, check with people around you. See a lot of people that finish and just kind of like look down at their lap. You're not alone, Gio. Other people did too. Check with people around you. What did they get? Did they get the same answer? All right, quiet raised hand. Tell me the answer. Sego, go for it.
P of n minus, P of n equals to 20n minus 10 times square root of n.
Yeah, and you don't have to do the little dot if you don't want to. You can just squeeze them together like that. Perfect. Yeah, thank you. Stego 50. All right, example 3. I need another voice. Eva, go for it.
Owner is participating in a walkathon fundraising. 2 donors promise to donate money based on the total distance he walks. The money A in dollars that he receives from the first donor, given that he walks D kilometers, is given by the formula A of D equals 10D. The money B in dollars that he receives from the second donor, given that he walks D kilometers, is given by the formula B of D equals 2D plus D squared. Let T be the total of money that owner raises from those donors by walking D kilometers in the walkathon. Write a formula for T in terms of A of D and B of D.
Cool, cool. All right. So, individually, just by yourself, write down that formula. We've done it twice already. Write down the formula. You have to figure out what operation goes in between. You have a 1 in 4 chance of getting it right. Actually, you have a 1 in 6 chance because there's 2 ways that you can write it for subtraction and division if it is one of those 2. But in terms of the symbols, there's only 4 to choose from. Once you finish writing it down, check with people around you. Did everyone in your group get the same answer? Yes or no? All right. T of n. Quiet raised hand. Help me out. James, go for it.
T equals AD plus BD.
AD plus BD. Yep. You just have two donors. Just add them up and you get the total amount. And again, the key word here was T be the total money. Total comes up here. So it's either an add or subtract problem. Just be careful which one it is. All right. Go ahead and write down the formula for T of n in terms of D. Oh, I'm doing T. I don't know why I did n there. I should have written T of D is equal to that, which means that this guy is also wrong. T of D is equal to all of that. Write down your formula. Check with people around you. All right, in 5 seconds, I'm going to ask for hands, but not quite yet. Make sure you have the answer that you know is correct because you've checked with other people. All right, quiet raised hand. Steph, go for it.
T equals 10B plus 2D plus
Thumbs up, thumbs down. Everyone agree or disagree? Everyone agrees. All right, so Steph, you get your 50. Everyone else?
So I just have one question.
Yes.
So when it's like that for that, do you leave it like that or do you add what you can add, like 10B plus 2D?
It's up to you. On Khan Academy and in my class, because you had the correct formula, you get full points. If I said simplify the formula, then you definitely have to combine them. Yeah, good question. Any other questions so far, thus far? Okay. Example 4. Voice, free XP. Fiona, go for it.
The volume H in liters of water coming out of the hose in.
It should be just m minutes. Sorry about that. Khan Academy always pastes 3, so it should just be m minutes.
Given by the function h of m equals 17.4 m. However, it is a sunny day and the water is also evaporating from the pool. Therefore, the volume V in liters of water in the pool.
M minutes.
After Deborah started filling, it is given by V of m equals 17 m. Let E be the volume of water in liters that has evaporated from the pool m minutes after Deborah started filling. Write the formula for E of m in terms of H of m and V of m.
Thank you.
The formula for E of m in terms of m.
Perfect. So what I want you to do now is to just do that first part again. Write a formula in terms of H of m and V of m. Write it by yourself. Believe in yourself. Know that you can do this. We've done 3 of these. You saw the word evaporating. You know exactly what type of function this is going to be. Formula is going to have this operation because of this in the notes. All right. Check with people around you. Did they get the same answer? Is the order correct? All right. Only 3 people are allowed to answer. It's either Stego, Andrea, or Steph. Who wants to answer this? Steph, go for it.
E of m equals V of m divided by H of m.
I cannot write my M's. All right, thumbs up, thumbs down. Agree or disagree? Huh, interesting. Okay, well, everyone definitely voted, so I'm going to give y'all the procedure. Okay, someone at this group, Andrea, please explain why you did thumbs down.
Because evaporating means you subtract. So it would be H of m minus V of m.
Okay, I don't know. Group response. What do you think?
Did y'all put that or?
We focus on not on evaporation but on volume, and then we just assume that it was distance over time.
Distance over time. Interesting. Yeah, so let's analyze this problem a little bit. We have a volume in liters coming out of the hose. So H is the hose. H is hose. That's going into the pool. It's going into a pool, right? Yeah, a pool. And V in liters, and then that's how much actually is in the pool. So V is how much is actually in the pool. So it's asking how much has evaporated. So it's coming out of the hose into the pool, and then that's how much is actually in the pool, but some water has been evaporated. So you're subtracting the water that's been evaporated. No, not making any more sense?
No.
I'm lost.
Okay, I'll tell us the answer and then I'll try to explain this answer. The evaporated water is how much water came out of the hose, H of M, subtracted by how much is actually in the pool, V of M. Let's explain this with numbers instead of symbols. Good, you got it right.
I thought you said something else, so I was like,
Okay, if I did say something else, I apologize. This is the correct answer. Let's say I have a hose that will put in 100, I don't even know, 100 liters of water. And then it takes a while to fill up, so after an hour, I noticed that I have used all of that 100 liters of water that came from the hose, but my pool only has 95 liters of water in it. How many liters of water evaporated? So my hose filled up, 100 liters has come from the hose into the pool through my hose. After 100 liters, it took an hour to do that. I looked at my pool and I just say, hey, that's weird. My pool only has 95 liters, even though I know that 100 liters came from the hose. That means I know exactly how much evaporated. How much evaporated then? 5. What operation did you do? A minus sign. Yeah. Perfect. Okay, now really quickly, write down the formula in terms of just M. Substitute it in. E of M is equal to what? What? Cool what? Andrea, go for it.
17.4 M minus 17 M.
Perfect. There it is. Final answer. Go ahead and write your summaries on the back of the piece of paper. That concludes the videos. Say goodbye, Chris.
Bye, Chris.
Hi, Chris.
We miss you.